let me know if these ads and the ladder is in your heads yet. Because obviously not. Right? Now I want to talk about why is it that God's chosen never get to stay here? In fact, I'm going to tell you that God's chosen only come here to get fucked over and to show you about your sin. Now, let me explain it to you like a child, so hopefully, with your education level, you might click and understand what I've got to say. And let me know in comments, yes or no, if you understand. Or just tell me that I'm not, and that's cool. History's got mostly that. Now I want to talk history, because if we don't learn history and our great leaders know it properly and all this stuff, we're bound to repeat it. Definitely if we keep going to that bad apple information. Now, what is the bad apple information? It's these devil minions that finally change, but to get a devil minion to change, you have to sacrifice another life. God does. Another child, another one of his buddies that they send here to try to get you to understand, but you get so jealous that you twist the stories, kill them, and then take their stories. Now let me continue human history of that fact. Now, we'll go back to Jesus. I'm only going to chuck out a few. There's been many of many's. And I'm going to chuck out a few. You check out the rest, because it takes you to confirm what's true. If you don't, you're going to be the standard human and go through the standard of history. So if you want to know what's coming next, check out history. It repeats. Now, Jesus, I keep hearing that if you got God or Jesus, right, which is the same family, on your side, you should prosper. So Jesus was covered in diamonds and rubies and everything because he was so genius and everyone accepted it and they prospered. Not! Right? First, he didn't get recognized for ages. And then the devil does what it always does. Right? It finds out what it needs to steal from to thrive. Right? That's how it upgrades. It's sin. It steals. Right? It won't accept because it wants to be top shit, like a lot of leaders do. They don't accept things. So what they do to become still that top leader is they've got their ego sin within them and their sin of listening to others with those ego sins, you see. So, and to see that point, you know Braveheart, and the leader, the guy in there, and he cries and he has to go at his dad, and his dad sacrifices. There's nearly the truth there that repeats, right, in history. That some devil minion wants to change and uses the word change to steal from a good guy to go, you now fight for me. You see? That's what they did to Jesus too. So Jesus ends up getting strung up. He never got diamonds and pearls. These great people never get to where the devil minions like to be king. You get it? As they're controlling and dominant, and that's what you're there for, to help them have a nice sweet bath. Right? And they will keep you in that position. They will never allow you to get to their position, otherwise they wouldn't have it. Right? Where you actually have people at your feet and all that kind of stuff constantly. They love it. They just love it. Right? Now these people will never want to be recorded on real conversations that need to be recorded. On real evidence where people go, I want it to be recorded so we know the truth comes out. When someone says that, that means that you need to record it for psychology. It's part of that. Because if no one's meant to be lying or deceiving, then why aren't they getting recorded? Do you get it? But if you hear these groups go, no, we're not lying and deceiving, but we don't want to be recorded either, take our word for it, right? It's full of shit. That's a trick. You're getting tricked. And if you let it go, then you're in your sins for letting things go. You see? So when every time you talk about that you've got a bad leader, it shows you what your collective mostly is, because that's what they elect, right? And they mostly get tricked to elect another idiot in and so on, and it keeps happening. right? Emma was talking about what's the other mean on the piece of paper. Well, that means if you all go other, right, your vote just doesn't get counted into the ones that they want you to select. So 60% of you go other and only 40 years vote, then those 40 will vote for your leader. That's how it's set up. It's set up in so many different ways that you can't get out of the trap that they set. Right? These people would say they don't even know you, and when you do an action, so say they didn't know Jesus, and then they rocked up in the field and there's Jesus cutting up people and people are trying to run away and he throws a sword and gets one in the back. Right? And then this other person who tries to speak Jesus' words or uses them, but doesn't use the words of time, means check out things, investigate. Comes in and goes, Jesus, you're a savage. I just seen you throw a sword at that dude over there and rah, 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 right? And then Jesus goes, yeah, but I had to. There was no way. He would have come back to throw that sword at me, trust me. This is the only time I attack. I've spent all this time and they've attacked me every time, right? But these other dickheads will come in and go, nah. Right? That's what you see in the law all the time. They don't even have enough time because of their sins, which is what I talk about when it comes to lawyers and stuff like that. They're failing even more because they're behind. Anyone that gets behind, you just fail more and more until you can catch up, right? And if you're in an area where you need time to get things right, but you're already way behind, well, what do you think you're going to do? You're not going to put a shitload of people in that area and then make it right. You're going to twist things. You're going to make loopholes. You're going to go, look, we'll just do this. You just want this outcome? Yeah, but I want the outcome to be truth, not just an outcome. You get it? But all you want to do is just an outcome, right? Every leader that wanted to really do something for real and try to make it last got killed. They get killed because nothing great or good here is meant to last with the devil that owns the world. While you're all in your sins. Right now, we have another, what they call a biblical moment. When we have bad times, we always think that it's a biblical moment. Could be, right? Where the children are uprising. They've been taught something, but then they find out that Santa Claus is not true. Debates and just speaking for righteousness so you don't get hurt. So speech shouldn't hurt you, right? As long as you're not physically hurting anyone. But these days we can speak, go, fuck you, you're a cunt, you're a fucking dickhead, I just want to kill you. Just words, right? And because you say those words, they're going to come in, oh, you want to kill me? Actually, it's not you, you're going to die. How's this for a weird one? You can say to people, you're dead. That means they actually want to kill you and get away with it. People are doing it to me right now. But if they say, I'm going to stab you, then the cops can jump in. Huh? Well, stabbing you doesn't mean they're going to kill you. They might just want to cut you like the dude out of Simpsons when he went to go get Bart Simpson. Just wanted to cut you. But no, he's the vicious man, not the one that wanted to actually kill them that said it. Isn't that crazy, Emma?
Yep.
Fucking you humans are stupid. And you know what? You collectively have to go with those laws. These people who enforce the laws will say, don't hurt me, don't have a go at me, I'm just doing my job. So when I go work for the devil or the next Hitler, I guess I should use their excuse. They did that at court too, but a lot of them still got into trouble when there was a big enough group of righteousness. You get it? But when there's not a big enough group, those words don't matter. Words only matter when there's a group to back it up. So what group do you have out there? What group is really with God that has won and been righteous and showed that love actually thrives instead of domination and shitload of rules? That education and freedom, and if you get it right, thrives, that you won't need much because you have decent people? Have you ever noticed when you have decent people, you don't really need rules? Right? So you let me know anywhere in history where you see a great person become great all by themselves and make it. It's super rare. And in fact, if you find them, they're only small bubbles. Talking about the something that got big. Every culture, like the Romans and stuff like that. Huh? They said they had God. They weren't even doing it right. But in the time of the education, maybe. There's certain times where God will go, oh, let it go. They're only 10. I haven't worked it out yet. But when I expect them to be 20, but they're acting like 10, what do you think God might do then if he was around? And he's got plenty of time. In fact, time could be one of your biggest sins because you're wasting it. Other planets right now with time have succeeded because they did what they said. They went slower. It took 200 years of constant hard work and little battles, but at the end of it, they succeeded. So the 2,000 years of their history, they got 200 years of being little children. And then the other 800, they've thrived. So they're 800, and we've only been thriving for what, 200 with technology? Like, getting along, sort of decently getting along. You get it? Worldly. Huh? So we're behind. So, if we knew about other planets, that would actually help us try to thrive because of the ego-ness of, we're Australian, oi, 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 we're great. You know that? That's a little bit part of the sin. Right? It's good to have things, but if you use that to do sinful stuff because you've got a country behind you, that's a sin. Right? Now, I'm recording people right now, a shitload all the time. Probably wouldn't record so many stuff, but I need to find out where the corruption lies and where the bullshit is, because this bullshit spreads around everywhere. So that means if you record conversations and say, they go, yeah, I agree with you and all this, and you go, oh, cool, and this is what bullshitters do a lot, and then they leave, and then you hear them later on talking about other crap from someone else, and then they come back and they go, oh, no, I didn't do that, right? But if everyone recorded everyone in these certain areas where it needs to get the truth, then no one could bullshit, right? That's what a parent would do. We'll make it all recorded. Right? Make it so we can go back. If we keep hearing, I don't know, and then have proof on it, well, why we keep hearing that? We can record it and then have it. Hey, Emma. Yeah. So, boom, done. But you don't because of all the corruption. It's very sad. And so I've said a few things lately. I'm trying to get help, but I don't even want the help of the things that I believe I need help because no one even knows me. I want people to even know me. If I died today, what would they know? They would know me from years ago. And if you change, then they don't know you, do they? You die as the old you, the last time they seen you. Right? It's to stop people from talking bullshit to me. When it comes to a conversation that I believe is a true conversation of my heart, I will record it to find out what they've got to say later on. And if I find out later on that they say something else, I don't have to say, you need to believe me, they said this. I'm going to go, they fucking said it. I've got the recording. Right? I wonder if my mum even knows. I'm recording my family in fights at the moment. And this is why I'm alone, because I started doing it a few years ago for Emma's family. Because people were saying one thing and another, and I'm going, what? So what I did was record it, and they hated it. That they got recorded saying one thing, and then got caught later on talking bullshit. It's a fucking great way to catch them. And instead they make you look like the bad guy. You don't trust them. All these fucking devil words under the sun with no real proof and evidence and truth. And then run off. See you later. Bye-bye.